Welcome back to tonight's sad reality. I swear I didn't try to play change tonight and then end up looking up a speedrun for the game, only to realize that I literally can't record the game, so it literally just ended up being me watching a speedrun for about 30 minutes and then not being able to play a game, so that's peak as always. I've not played this game in a while. This game's gotten a lot of updates. It is indeed very cool game. I am a big fan of game. Reroll, I think. Stick. Yay. I love stick. Okay, a lot happened today. I took an energy drink, around like 9 a.m. this morning, which is a great, phenomenal decision, by the way. I always definitely do not recommend doing that. But honestly, it kind of made the day fly by way faster than it should have. And I guess I've got a lot to talk about, even though it's very, very simple things most of the time. Like, another simple thing, I have a new mouse. I love this thing. It literally has, crit chance, a little bit of luck. I remember such speed. Cool. I am fine with this. I should probably be farming a little bit harder, so I'm not really thinking, but I'm also on low difficulty, so, like, I can afford to be slightly zero brain. Plus, I think the entire thing of this character is he levels up really fast, I guess, and also, like, the items are important, but they cost more, so I guess it kind of matters which items I pick, so I should probably thinking about that a little bit more. I just know I thought I beat the game pretty much on this character very easily, hence the very low brain cell commentary, as per usual on this channel. Harvesting. We need harvesting. I need a medic. Okay, bonus luck. I would love to buy that. I'm gonna lock that. I'm gonna continue the next wave. But yeah, I took an energy drink. The rest of the day literally just flew by. I sold a bunch of things at my store to the point where, a little bit of store assistant manager was like, dude, you did so well today, here's an extra $10. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, I appreciate it. It's been a while since I've received $10. And keep in mind, he's like newer to the store. I don't know if I've told this story already, but at our store, they did like a bit of a switch. So one of our guys ended up going to another store as a store assistant manager, and one of the guys from their store came over here, became the store assistant manager, so, like, that's cool, I think. There's probably a more official name for it, but I just say store assistant manager, because that's easy for me to remember. Do I need damage? Do I need armor? Armor's nice. I'm gonna go for damage here. I can finally buy the bonus luck. I always say luck maxing is peak, although you really should be harvest maxing at this point in the game. Don't need to reroll because I don't have that much money anyways. But it goes from, like, stuff going very well to my hands are dying. I've been working so hard and so fast today. Like, straight up one of my cuticles starts bleeding. I get it all over one of the pieces of clothes, and I'm like, well, shit, this is... Honestly, the one thing that went wrong today was my hands getting blood all over one of the clothes. And yes, I took it out of circulation. It's not going to another customer, thank God. You don't want my bloody... It wasn't that much blood, but, like, I'm so glad my cuticles are fragile, I guess. Anyways, I've got stuff I want to talk about tonight. None of it has to do with stuff at the store, or my mouse, or anything else. So I guess I'll just get straight into that. But, as a YouTuber... Stick. Enemy speed minus speed. Give me harvesting, please. As a YouTuber, we have a few decisions to make, of which those decisions are not usually very hard things. It's just like, what kind of content do you want to make, you know? Do I want to be a kid's channel? The answer is no. I swear sometimes. That's crazy. I don't really swear in real life, but sometimes well, I guess this is real life. I don't know. I do this for effect. I do this because I feel like it adds some level of emotional connection to things. Is it necessary? Maybe not, and I don't know. Interesting thoughts about that. I could go on and on about that for a while. And you probably notice there's gonna be a little bit of overlap here between some stuff I've said in other videos. But, I was thinking about this at work, and I realized that it feels like people are soulless in one of potentially two directions. Ooh, bonus range I kind of like. Me likey. XP gain is actually kind of huge. Hopefully that doesn't kill I know it kills the range. I'm already kind of low range because I'm playing as a melee character. Another stick. HP regen, lifesteal. I don't hate that. Does that mean that I now lose health when I attack? I really hope not. Hopefully I didn't just screw myself over. The plant. Okay, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. But people are kind of soulless in one of two directions. Either their personality is garbage or they have no personality. And the way I feel sometimes, like, I don't know, maybe I'm really boring, but I've always looked at myself like I have no personality. Especially when it comes to this channel, it feels like my one personality is complaining about things, and sometimes it's kind of boring, you know? I can be Mr. Scream about everything on YouTube, just like everyone else is, you know, like take a line of drugs before you play Tetris and get all hyped about stuff, whatever. But do we really need more of this on YouTube? And my conclusion is no. You can find that if you want to find that, but no. So then, where does everything else come in? Like, how do you really truly set yourself apart in a world that feels so oversaturated sometimes? Probably could have recycled that for some bonus stuff. I like speed. Dodge is honestly kind of huge. Do I have any dodge? I think so. I'm gonna go for that just so I can survive a little bit better here. As long as my HP regen is positive, what I care about, but do I need that? No. Bonus speed, armor damage, max HP. I like these. I like the harvesting though. We're gonna go for the stick. I'm actually gonna leave this as it is. But so if my one personality is complaining about things, that's kind of just I don't know the best way to describe it. But that's not no bueno, you know? And then there's other people, like I'll get to work and there's some customers that they can talk and talk and talk about things, but I'm like, I've seen it before, I've heard it, there's nothing new under the sun. I'm sure you've heard this before. So I'm not sure anything I do, whether that's tons of personality or no personality, it'll be new to any extent. I'm not even sure if this meta commentary is new on anything. But it's just something I've been trying to figure out lately, I suppose. And I don't know which side of the spectrum I want to land on if picking a side. Like, I want to enjoy things too. I don't want to be boring. But at the same time, I don't want to lose myself in pursuit of that either, which I feel like a lot of people do. Can Clash Royale? Kind of, although, I don't know. Is it acting? Is it not? Maybe the acting's so good we can't tell if it's acting. And to me, I guess that's half the fun. Melee damage, bonus melee damage. My range damage doesn't need anything. Lifesteal. Well, Leech is nice, but I don't really need it right now. Metal detector is huge. This is huge. Equip over 6 weapons. I mean, I guess I've already kind of played most of this game, regardless. Crit chance. I like that, and we're just gonna continue. I always try to keep harvesting if I can. I also like the speed builds where I can just keep grabbing things, moving around, killing enemies faster and faster. This is kind of like an auto game if you think about it. I remember grinding out, I think, the entirety of this game, 100%ing it back before I had DLC back in college. Because to me, this just perfectly fits my tism, I guess. Also, I realize I'm recording this very late in the day. I was shooting for around 5, but then I got home after my energy drink crash, and then took an hour nap, and I'm still working with editors on stuff, so maybe tonight I'll be like, everything's gone to shit, and then I'll talk about that in another side reality, because tonight I can stay up for a little bit, not only because I'm actually slept after work, took an hour-long nap, but I'll probably have stuff to say about that, because it's not... It's not looking great. I've been impressed with, like, the quality of what I'm getting. It's just not impressed with the timeliness of when I'm getting it, if that makes sense. So, that I've been very much hoping for. Wave completed. Bonus engineering. Don't need that. Speed engineering. Speed's nice. I kind of want to keep the crit chance. Attack speed I would actually love. Because then that makes me a lot more... stable, I suppose. Honestly, I probably should have gone for the armor there. Let's go for the luck. More attack speed. I probably could have gone for dodge. We're going to combine. Buy another stick. Next HP symbols have a chance to explode. Those are cool. Reroll. Sharp Tooth. I did not know this was an item in the game. Maybe it was added after I played. Bonus XP gain, minus luck. I mean, what's my luck looking like right now? 41. That's not bad. Reroll. Damage, minus range. Special enemies appear. I'm fine with this. Okay. Again, this is like literally negative difficulty, so it's not that bad. But I would say as a general statement, like, life's looking up. It's just, how do I look up to life and actually make something? That's what I've been trying to figure out, I guess. Because, like, I feel like everyone around me is working really hard. And I know I'm working hard too, I guess, but whenever people are like, you gotta take that journey of self-improvement, you gotta figure things out, and I'm like, that's dumb. But at the same time, I'm like, have I really changed any in the past few years? I feel like my face looks identical to the way I looked back in middle school. I feel like I haven't really changed there. My parents always say I'm more black-pilled now, because working in retail, I say I do not have any faith in humanity as a whole. In fact, I think that we're kind of screwed on the front of just the way people interact. Like, our store got stolen from in a pretty big way yesterday, and I don't know. Maybe I'll yap about that at some point, but that bothers me. And I feel like, in a way, I'm slowly losing myself to all of that. I don't want that to be the focal point of my life, but sometimes that's how it feels like it's going. That's a pretty good. What is structure attack speed's probably the free reroll? Oh, you gotta take it's free. Piggy bank. Oh, lock this, combine, grab this. Cool. Moving on. Yeah, I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about, I guess. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. Again, I'm only 21, I'm not gonna have life figured out, and in fact, some say you never have life figured out, but, I don't know what I want my approach of that to be. Do I want to be the cynicist? Do I want to be the guy who, you know, the guy who stands for the truth and everyone hates him, or... I think the Bible says something along the lines of you can be at peace with the world, but there also says, like, the world's gonna be awful and all this other stuff, and to me there's a bit of cognitive dissonance there. It's your vocabulary word for the night. But, like, you can still be on good terms with people, even if the people around us aren't good people. And to me, that's like, wow, that's poetry, I guess. Welcome to politics or something. Get hit by 3 enemy projectiles in one wave. I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier. Wave completed. Yay! 6 alien eyes around you every 3 seconds, dealing... I don't hate that, that's cool. Dodge I could increase further, melee damage... We can increase further, but I'm gonna go for dodge. Bonus range is nice. Black belts. Piggy bank. Free reroll, because we gotta... I'm gonna lock this, and continue. Also, I just want to say, too, if you end up checking out the main channel from this, or you're like, man, this guy talks a lot of dumb stuff, I want to go meet him on Discord and say how much of a loser he is, all of this can be found quite easily on the internet, but, kind of the TLDR of that is, if you have any advice or anything like that, I'm always down to hear it. I think that said, I do tend to devalue a lot of what's said, but the internet is full of strange things that make me think of life differently, and I think that's kind of what's beautiful about it. I do believe there is, like... There aren't multiple truths, there's an inherent truth to the way life works. So, some things that are said aren't always right, but I do find interest in the people who think that they've figured something out, want to share it with other people, not because they believe in themselves, but because they really believe that what they've figured out is worth something. Like, when I think about the elders at church, or any of the good ones or whatever, which, granted, I haven't really met any, that's something that, like, I want to be. I want to be that old guy that looks, not really looks down, but sees, like, the younger kids and be like, man. I was about to say make some Epstein joke, looks down and says, hey, I can help you, I've been through this, I've seen this before, it may not get better, but you're gonna get through it, type thing, you know? Fuel tank, fist, hatchet, the obliterator. This looks really cool. However, do I feel like using this? No, not really. I'm guessing this is a really slow weapon every 2 seconds. It's not bad. Maybe it could be worse. I don't know. Here's an interesting question. What actually counts as, like, sentience, I guess? I always joke with, like, my coworkers that half people that walk in the store, there's, like, one plot line. There's never going to be anything more to it than just that one plot line. And regardless of whether or not I think that's entirely true, it's like we think of everything as zombies, and I'm kind of looping back around some stuff I've already said here, but sometimes it feels like some people are special and you know they're going to go places, and I have been told repeatedly that I'm going to be one of those people, but then I look on it and I'm like, man, if I'm one of those people, then so help the world, because yeah, I do not want to be that guy. I feel like there are other people out there that are way more intelligent, way better at math, a little bit more patient than I am, perhaps, and those are the people that should be doing things, not me, I guess. We don't really need harvesting. We're kind of at the end of the round here. This armor, ice cube. Isn't that a wrapper? Pickup range harvesting. Claw tree is pretty sick. Really good common item. I guess, so what's kind of the takeaway here? As my mouse is kind of freaking out, I don't know if this is visible on screen, but my mouse is now teleporting around my screen. Hopefully this is not anything to do with my new mouse that I literally plugged in, like, I think 10 minutes before recording this. But, what would I take away from this? Maybe don't overthink it, I guess. Not every question needs an answer. Like, dumb questions don't need to be answered, and there's a reason why we don't have the answer to every question, because then it would get quite boring. So that's not to say we shouldn't ask those questions, but perhaps we already have what we need to have in life in pursuit of whatever those greater goals are. So that said, I think that's a good note to end on. Thank you so much for watching tonight's Sad Reality. Try to be a little bit more soulful than I am, and I will see you in tomorrow's Sad Reality. Have a good one, y'all.